Hey guys, and welcome to an Aspie's point of view where I give you my opinion on stuff. So, tonight I wanted to talk about a new show that started today called Young Sheldon. Of course, based on the character of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. So, it's long been a question of whether the character of Sheldon was meant to have autistic spectrum disorder or not. I never believed that the adult Sheldon did. I don't know why I didn't believe it, but I think I've mentioned in previous videos, I usually have a pretty good idea of when I think a character has ASD or not. And just kind of from the get-go, I've never really thought that the character of Sheldon had autism or Asperger's. That being said, young Sheldon seems to have autism or Asperger's, which completely throws me for a loop. But I'll go into a little bit of why I feel that way. So, Sheldon is obsessed with trains. Lots of kids with autism or Asperger's do have obsessions. But more than just trains, he uses that train to prove scientific theories. Which, again, science is his other obsession. So I definitely thought that was a strong point in the show that made me think this. Clearly, he's very, very bright. He was going into high school at a very young age, I think 9 or 10, when the show started off. And, of course, it showed, he doesn't really fit in well at home. He has an older brother and a twin sister. The older brother is not necessarily anywhere near as smart as Sheldon. In fact, someone later on in the episode calls him the dumb brother, which, of course, shows bullying that can happen in situations like that. And the twin sister really seems to be the bratty little sister. Even though they're the same age. But, and then the father is a football coach, so of course wants his son just to fit in and be normal. And the mother is angry at anyone who says that there's something wrong with her son or that he's not normal. So you're fairly typical, any sort of special family that you would normally see. Sheldon is very interested in learning all the rules of school. Rules are another huge thing for people with ASD, that they want to know all the rules so that they know that they follow all the rules. And certainly, I'm going to admit to it, I read my school's handbook probably several times. Not so much when I was younger, but as I got older. I don't know if I was just really bored or what, but I definitely remember reading the entire student handbook. It used to be in the front of our planners, our homework books. And so I would read that from time to time. And of course, I was never one for breaking rules. So again, that's another thing that kind of led me there. Sheldon is very hypersensitive to smell. At one point, he mentions that it smells like ammonia in the school, and that leads him to believe they did a deep cleaning recently, and that makes him feel comfortable. So do with that what you will. And he is very particular about his teachers being corrected if they're wrong. I'll be perfectly honest. I went on a college tour when I was still in high school, and I sat in on a class, and I will never forget, the professor was giving a lecture, and he was talking about a location that he had the entire class convinced was where Romeo and Juliet took place. And I wanted nothing more than to interrupt that class and say, "But sir, Romeo and Juliet takes place in Verona. It's in the prologue." I didn't. I waited until I got outside the room, and I said I was never going to that school because the professor didn't even know where, Romeo and Juliet took place. Well, surprise, I ended up at that school anyways. But that's a story for another time. Certainly, a lot went on in this episode that led me to believe that young Sheldon has been written as a character who will be, if not on the autism spectrum, will be suspected of being on the autism spectrum before the series is over. One other thing I wanted to point out is that young Sheldon has perfect pitch, and a lot of people think that all people with autism are savants. That's definitely not the case, but musical savants certainly do have perfect pitch, and so that's one other thing that just kind of led me to think, young Sheldon might be on the spectrum. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I hope you liked this video, and I hope to make more videos as the season progresses. Until next time, this has been an Aspie's Point of View. Good night.